two worlds where there's like the world that makes money and just needs traffic, and the world that has so much traffic and has no money. And so when you learn how to marry those two, you just make absolutely obscene amounts of money.
Okay, I have another channel with 7,000 subscribers. How do I marry those two?
The people who best monetize an audience do percentage conversion times LTV.
Wait, Alex, I don't understand. What do you mean?
You're fucking dumb.
Come on, Alex, you don't have to say it like that. I've done over $5 million.
Proof, motherfuckers. Proof.
Whoa, okay, here are two of my bank accounts.
Okay.
Can you now explain the formula behind a $100 million brand on YouTube?
So what percentage of your audience do you convert, and what's the lifetime gross profit per customer? That's it. That's the math. The person who makes the most money.
Okay. So what about everyone telling us we need to make viral content? Like I got a video on YouTube with 1 million views. Isn't that more important than branding?
The content you create isn't the compounding asset. The audience is.
Aha, content fades, audience stays. But the compound effect doesn't take days. So the second insight is to make sure we build the right audience so that this part of the equation goes up and we can increase profits. But why would you say the branding piece is so important?
Your ability to price above a commoditized version of whatever you offer, like that discrepancy between what a commodity sells at and what yours sells at, like that is the pricing power that brand affords you. And so with price being the single strongest lever on profits in any kind of business, having a brand becomes incredibly important if it is the strongest influencer on your ability to price.
Okay, so you say price is the strongest lever on profit and brand allows you to price higher, thus you make more profit. But how do we practically build our personal brand in like our YouTube videos?
State the facts and tell the truth. Say what no one else can say, show what no one else can show. Because there's always things that you have unique to your brand that only you can show. A lot of people just don't show it.
I understand. Let's do it. So here's my 6-month YouTube experiment where I uploaded over 311 videos and this was one of those results. The same video on the channel with 389 subscribers, it got only 169 views. Whereas on the channel with only 3 subscribers, it got over 1,000 views. Same video. So Alex, what do you recommend that I do with all the proof, the data, the insights?
And so whenever you make a little framework for your team, just tell other people about it. And for those of you who are like, another team's going to use my checklist. Lots of teams use my checklists. Hasn't made me less money.
All right then, let's give it away for free. Link below. But Alex, how are you building your brand?
If I wear a hat in every video, then people start to associate the hat with me, right? And if I provide value, eventually you can take the hat off and people still associate the value with the hat. Fundamentally, that's what branding is.
Okay, so building an effective personal brand is making positive associations at scale. Am I right, Alex?
No. Well,
okay, so then what would you say?
there are 3 elements to brand. The first is the strength of the influence. When people see me or see a logo or see something, does it change their behavior? And so if we were to go to the etymology of the word, or basically where it first began, branding was like if I branded a cow, right? You brand a cow, it's got a mark on it. The reason for that was because it would change people's behavior. If I saw a cow that didn't have a brand, a cow that did have a brand, I would maybe catch this cow, I would leave it alone, I'd do whatever. But the one that has Rick's logo on it, I might give it back to Rick, or I'd kill Rick or kill the cow if I hate Rick, or I'd steal the cow if I hate. Either way, the brand, I would treat this cow differently than the cow that had no brand. And so brands change behavior at scale. That's why they're so valuable.
Okay, so the first element of any personal brand is the strength of its influence. Like you say, brand changes behavior because an unbranded cow may be killed to eat, whereas a cow with a brand on it is likely to be returned to the owner. So then what is the second element of a brand?
Donald Trump changes a lot of people's behavior. Now, the next question is that behavior going towards or is it going away? For some people, it's very strongly towards, and other people, it's very strongly away, but he changes people's behavior. So he's a strong brand from an influence perspective. The directionality is going to depend on the person.
Okay, so if someone who is watching this exact video scrolls down and clicks on the link below to access my Google Sheet with 80 plus free marketing tools that I use daily or weekly, then they are moving towards me, right? What about the third element? By the way, link to the free sheet below, trust me. It's good.
And then the next piece, the third piece, is just the reach, which is how many people in general have this association with you.
Reach. All right, so what is the ultimate personal brand, Alex?
The hypothetical max of what a brand would be, which is you'd want as many people as humanly possible moving towards you and all changing their behavior at once when they see your thing. That would be the hypothetical max of a brand, right? Like Taylor Swift has a brand that's very close to this. Everyone knows who she is. She has a very strong brand in terms of changing people's behavior, and they tend to move in the direction that she wants them to go.
Okay, so the ultimate personal brand reaches everyone in the world, changes all of their behaviors in a positive way. Is there anything we should avoid?
So I also kind of relatively reject the concept of all publicity is good publicity. I would just say all publicity is publicity. It will increase the reach of your brand. It won't increase necessarily these two, but it will increase the reach. More people will know about you. And so it's just being specific about what a brand actually is.
I see. So associating our personal brand with viral topics may actually result in more people moving away from us. Let's listen to your wife, Layla, about a bad example.
If suddenly everyone that wore Chanel looked like they were homeless but wearing a Chanel coat, you would no longer associate Chanel with expensive luxury. And some luxury brands actually changed this way. They open up a line that may be less expensive so they can get to a broader market. And what you notice is that sometimes their top tier products suffer because people no longer feel that when they wear Chanel, they are wearing a premium brand.
Is that why you do less podcasts, Alex?
And so if you understand that a brand is built through associations, then you're also very careful about who you choose to appear next to, right? And so there's a reason that I don't speak on stages anymore that I don't own. Mostly because the audience will associate me with the other speakers. And I often don't want to be associated with the other speakers. Podcasts, even to a certain degree, have the same thing. They spend an hour with me and this other person. And I've become more and more strict about this to the point where I really don't appear, like I'm not really trying to appear with anyone anymore.
Very interesting. So when we blow up on YouTube and receive podcast requests, we may not only think about the increase in reach we get, but also if the new people from that podcast and the current people in the audience will move away from us or get closer to us after they see us with that podcast host. Anything you would like to add, Alex?
You are always going to be the purest version of your brand. Like you are your brand. And so you leaning into more of you is the stuff that's going to accomplish these things. And if some people are turned away from you, that's fine. But what we can do to change that is we try and reach as many people as we can, and we try and provide value to those people so that they change their behavior and ideally go towards us.
Okay, so what would you say is more important on YouTube, Alex? Like, how do we actually grow $100 million brand on YouTube?
Instead of trying to make good content, try and solve problems for your avatar. Like value, whatever. Like fundamentally, value is how do I make it easier for you, faster for you, or less risky for you to get where you want to go? That's it.
Really? What if I then only get a few hundred views?
Don't be afraid of the empty room. Very low views doesn't mean low revenue. It just means that it's more specific and that you're talking to a more specific person. And a specific problem being solved for a specific person is how you make big money.
All right, so to build a $100 million personal brand on YouTube, we want to make videos where we solve specific problems, or should I say specific?
Specific.
For a specific person, and then maximize the views on that video. Right, Alex?
I would highly encourage you to just make the content that gets 40 views, that gets 100 likes, that you know for sure will help a very specific person, because when you do help that very specific person, they will like you a lot more than many people who like you a little bit. And the people who like you a lot are the ones who buy from you.
I actually did my 6-month experiment, Alex, to find out the best way to increase views on those specific videos.
Specific.
This is another result where I posted the same video, 99% the same, on the same day on 2 channels. One with 410 subscribers and it got only 36 views on that channel, and on the channel with only 51 subscribers it got 506 views. Now, I don't say that is massive, but it is for sure interesting. So if you want to know why and how and just all the data insights that I got from that 6-month experiment, check the link below for free access. And Alex, what should they also not forget?
Motherfucker, the reason you built this audience was to direct them somewhere. Like, unless you're just trying to like, likes ain't cash, views ain't cash. Like, don't forget why you started this.
I agree. So what do you recommend to those who currently have a $0 brand?
Give up now.
For real, Alex, don't you have like a case study or also experiment of someone who has very few followers but actually makes a lot of money?
$1 million in profit from less than 6,000 followers.
Want to know how she did it? Watch this video next. Talk soon.